This weekend, the two most iconic shades of blue in all of college sports meet on the softball diamond. It's Duke and North Carolina, Tobacco Road rivals, going at it in ACC action. Carolina welcoming Duke to Anderson Stadium in Chapel Hill. Check out the ACC standings. The Blue Devils a half game out of first, trailing unbeaten Florida State in the ACC standings. North Carolina still in contention for a top 4 seed and the bye in the ACC tournament that comes with it. Hey there, folks. Happy Friday. Thanks for joining us here from Chapel Hill. She's Rain Wilson. My name is Matt Krause. And Rain, you played in this rivalry. Obviously, it's intense, but it's also an important series for these teams in the flow of ACC play.
Absolutely. In the flow of the rest of their season. Will they make it to postseason? What will postseason look like for Duke, trying to cement their position to be a top 16 seed and host in Durham? And for Carolina, a great year in terms of wins, but the next 9 games, now with Duke at home, Virginia Tech, Florida State on the road, an opportunity to get some quad 1 victories and cement their spot in the NCAA tournament, but a lot at stake. And then most importantly, Matt, bragging rights. I mean, Tobacco Road, that's what matters most between both these ball clubs, so it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Well,
there are two teams that like to score a lot of runs. If you like offense, this is the series for you. North Carolina's Emily Leggett, her 20 long balls lead the ACC.
Yeah, Emily Leggett has been Emily LeGreat. I know there's a lot we can do with the name LeGoat, I've even heard, and the power from the junior has been what's most impressive to me, to all parts of the field. And if I'm a pitcher, I don't know what to do with her. She can hit in, she can hit away, and there's another athlete on the other side of things who can do just the same, and it's Amina Vega. The senior has been consistently good throughout her career, but this year she's been consistently great. 30 extra base hits, leads the team in so much more than just the power numbers, as a leader in the locker room as well for this Duke team.
Certainly playing at an All-American level again in her final go-round at Durham, and has some pretty good protection behind her. In the 3 spot in the Duke order, Jessica Oakland has been red hot of late. Half of her home runs have come in the last couple of games. And Duke starts the ball game with a first pitch home run off the bat of Deanna Jennings.
I mean, you can't make it up. Deanna Jennings, a player we don't necessarily highlight for the power numbers. We're talking about Jessica Oakland, we're talking about Amina Vega, who comes up next. But Deanna Jennings is another piece as we take a look here. First pitch of the game, absolute line drive shot. Talking about this game being in Chapel Hill, Anderson Stadium is a hitter's stadium, 200 around left, center, and right. And Deanna Jennings takes advantage of there to take the 1-0 lead.
Duke certainly has power threats in their lineup. Jennings, this just her 3rd home run of the season. She's not the name that comes to mind when you think power with Duke.
No, certainly not. And she kind of found her power in the Mizzou Regional, Super Regional, I should say, a couple years ago to make it to the Women's College World Series late in that game. And so for any young slappers out there, because at that point in her career, she could move her feet, tap the ball, power slap, she found it. And another woman who has found her stride is Amina Vega, the senior who you see now.
Amina Vega heading the count 2-0. Make it 3-0. Kenna Ray Dark, after surrendering the leadoff home run, behind in the count against Vega. Dark coming off of a midweek no-hitter in 6 innings against Queens. Tar Heels victorious 8-0 against the Royals on Wednesday night. And a 4-pitch walk.
Yeah, not the start you want if you're Kenna Ray Dark in the circle for this Carolina team, but when you look at the scouting report, it's clear Dark has the tools. Upper 60s, the go-to is the drop ball, but she can curve it away from righties and into lefties as well. I imagine there's some nerves here too. But the key for Kenna Ray is to attack the zone. Of course, miss barrels as much as you can, but if there's a lineup that makes that challenging, it is that Duke lineup. And I love the call here by head coach Megan Slick-Lyon to come out, calm her team down. You give up a first pitch home run in this rivalry, a good opportunity to set the tone and just breathe.
She was really excited to see her team compete against ranked competition here at home in the form of Duke, and then a couple of key road series coming up at Florida State and at Virginia Tech to close out the regular year. Carolina has had their ups and downs against ranked competition this year. Wildly successful against teams that on paper they're comparable to or better than. But it's this playing up, trying to earn a victory against a ranked team in Duke. Really excited to see your team come up and try and handle that challenge. Speaking of handling challenges, Jessica Oakland certainly is one. Career high 6 RBI for the Minnesota transfer and the midweek win for Duke over Liberty. 2-run double, also a grand slam to extinguish the Flames.
Yeah, Jess Oakland has been a huge piece of this lineup. Her first time in this rivalry, the transfer from the University of Minnesota from last year who had to sit out. But she's just been so consistent and just so tough to beat. Guys, great plate discipline and will make you pay if you miss over the middle.
2 years as a Golden Gopher for Oakland. Mid-year transfer, as Rain mentioned, that forced her to sit out last season. Missed some time due to injury at the very beginning of this year, but has established herself as the Blue Devils' everyday shortstop. Makes this dangerous lineup even deeper. Ahead in the count, 2-1. Tar Heels boast a deep pitching staff, 8 pitchers on the roster. Of late in ACC play, they've used 4, of which Dark is 1, but certainly not the workhorse innings eater that she needed to be the last couple of seasons for the Tar Heels. Oakland hits it sharply into left. That'll roll to the wall. Blue Devils cooking. 1 run already home in the first, runners at the corners and still nobody out.
Yeah, this one just creeps out over the middle of the plate. I think Kenneray Dark was looking to go away from the barrel of Jess Oakland there, and Oakland just does not miss this. But watch Lexi Roberts get this ball in so quickly and keep Oakland to a single. You know, it doesn't show up in the scorebook necessarily, but if Carolina here can collect some outs, prevent Oakland from scoring, that shows up later in this game because this is not going to be a 1-0 ball game, I'll tell you that.
Not with the way that these teams score runs, that's for sure. Cleanup batter for the Blue Devils is Tarina Jones. Transfer from Purdue, leads the team in home runs with 14 of them. Tough spot for Dark with 2 aboard, still nobody out. Gets to 0-2. Jones has been in a bit of a funk. Just 2 for her last 13. No home runs in her last 4 games. Trying to bust out of it here. 1-2.
Yeah, Jones has been a key piece to this offense in terms of the power threat, but has been a little bit streaky. I'm sure amongst everyone, Tyrena Jones wants to be the consistent hitter more than anybody, but when she gets on, though, when she starts to feel the momentum, she is tough to beat.
Jones to right field. Tarpey back, and that'll bust you out of a funk. 15th homer of the season for Jones.
And if you're head coach Marissa Young, that is a great sign for your offense this weekend. Tyrena Jones takes a drop on the outer half, maybe a curve, but had the dip, and does not miss it. A missile, knew it right away, stays the barrel path through the ball out to the right side. And Duke with the 4-run lead early in this one.
Pitching coach Maddie Hollab already in the circle. Now here comes Megan Smith-Lyon. And the Tar Heels will lean upon that deep pitching staff to try and settle things down, calling upon the freshman Jill Livengood. Duke's first 4 batters all reach. They all come in to score on a pair of home runs. And Duke strikes first early. It's the Blue Devils playing home run derby in the first inning right from the get-go, Rain.
Yeah, and the first one was a Deanna Jennings line drive, and this one was a Tyrena Jones bomb, oppo, taco, and just a tough start if you're Carolina. But credit this Duke offense, came prepared, on time for Kenneray Dark, knew what they were looking for, and it showed.
So the Tar Heels to their second pitcher of the night. It's the freshman Jill Livingood. Triangle native from Wake Forest, North Carolina, gets her first taste of the Carolina-Duke rivalry. No balls and 2 strikes on Layla Lamar. Lamar, the daughter of head coach Marissa Young. Transfer from Florida in her first season playing for her mother in Durham. Putting up a good season. First batter to face Livingood. Of Lamar's 41 hits this year have gone for extra bases. 2-2. Jill Livingood called upon in the circle. She pitched twice against NC State last weekend as the Tar Heels swept the Wolfpack. Did not concede a run over 4 2/3 innings. Ball 3.
Yeah, and I like the move there. It's clear that this Duke offense was prepared for Kenneray Dark. They've seen Kenneray Dark before and just didn't have her stuff early on. That doesn't mean we won't see her later tonight or the rest of the series, but how about putting the freshman into this moment? Welcome to college softball, pitched well against NC State, and now in a tough spot early.
Interesting on Livingood. She has 16 strikeouts over 20 innings this year. 7 of the 16 came against Monmouth way back in mid-February. So that means her last 16 innings of work, only 9 strikeouts. She lets her defense do the work behind her. Full count to Lamar with 4 runs already home for Duke. Lamar into center, and Thompson makes the catch for the first out. So Livingood comes out of the bullpen and against the first batter she faces, records an out. Feels important for the Tar Heels.
Absolutely. I mean, just to get the out underneath your belt after, the first 14 pitches where Duke scores 4 early. But I also like the move in a sense that Livingood obviously throws different stuff than Kenneray Dark. Will work up in the zone. You mentioned it, fills up the zone, trusts her defense, which is huge.
First pitch foul ball off the bat of KK Mathis, the DP for Duke. So if you're Duke offensively, ton of success for the first 4 batters, but now you're facing a different pitcher than the one that you thought you were going to see right from the get-go. What's the mental adjustment now?
I think for both of these ball clubs and just broadly college softball, we're moving so far away from facing 1, 2, 3 pitchers. I mean, these are truly staffs. And for Carolina, I imagine this Duke offense prepared for 6, 7, 8 arms. And so it's got to be a quick switch. To your point, though, you do expect the starter to stay in, at least the first time through. But I think these athletes, more than ever, are prepared for these quick changes and the adjustments that can happen very quickly.
If you're a longtime Tar Heel softball fan, the days of Brittany Pickett are not coming back. Kyrie Rodriguez is the catcher for Duke. Foul ball on the first pitch that she saw from Livingood. Fourth-year Blue Devil Rodriguez, redshirted in 2024. 58 starts last year as the Blue Devil catcher. Second year as the everyday starter behind the dish for Coach Young's team. Livingood's 0-1. In there for strike 2. One out base runner in the form of Mathis after the first 4 Blue Devils scored a pair of first-inning homers for the 16th ranked team in the nation. Already the second pitcher of the night for North Carolina, and Livingood misses for a ball. It's a very deep pitching staff for the Tar Heels. They boast 8 pitchers on the roster. I think Livingood is an example of how that depth pays off. Month of February, which in the sport of softball means you play a ton of games in February, gets the swing and a miss, and a somewhat rare strikeout for Livingood for out number 2. Jill Living could only pitch in 2 games all of February. Since the calendar flipped to March, though, she's become a trusted arm for the Heels.
Yeah, and how about the energy from the freshman? Looks like goes curve away, climbs the ladder a little bit, gets Kyrie Rodriguez to expand the zone chase. Feel the emotion from the freshman. 2 outs now, 1 out away from getting her offense in the dugout.
Freshman on freshman matchup is Living Good with 2 outs. Will work against Jayla Stafford. San Diego native, the first baseman for the Blue Devils. One and one. .39th start of Stafford's freshman season. In a little bit of a funk, 3 of her last 14. Stafford trying to continue the offensive onslaught in the first against the Tar Heel starter. Two-two. Living Good's next pitch. Found back and will do it again. Living Good's able to limit this damage to just 4 runs. Get the conference's best scoring offense to the plate and a lot of time to work with.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's got to be the message if you're Carolina. Hey, a lot of softball left. You know, this is a team that 4 runs they can score in the blink of an eye, just like Duke did. So I don't imagine they feel like this game is anywhere close to over.
Stafford, right field, past a diving Tarpey. That'll roll up against the wall. Long run for Mathis from first. She'll make the turn. The throw home is not in time. And it's a 5 spot for Duke.
Jayla Stafford gets a nice piece of this. Another hard hit ball by Duke. And how about the extension by Tarpey? So close there to making the diving play to get her team out of this inning. Instead, ricochets out to center field. KK Mathis scores. Jayla Stafford potentially gets out of the slump with a 2-out double here in the first.
That is the 7th double of the season for Stafford, but the first since February 28th.
You have the best stats. Seriously, so good.
Preparation. Duke bats around in the first. Adeline Matthews, the freshman from Tallahassee. Her hometown team, Florida State, is the team that Duke is chasing at the top of the ACC standings. Blue Devils open up in 2nd place at the start of this series. By the way, that has scored a double off the bat of Stafford, as we mentioned. 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Second strikeout out of the bullpen for Living Good. 5 runs in the first for Duke. Conference's top scoring offense trying to answer. top of the first. The good news, the Tar Heels host the ACC's top scoring offense, and it all starts with Sanaa Thompson. Her 67 hits on the year, that excites middle schoolers everywhere, and it ranks second in the ACC.
6'7". Yes, Sanaa Thompson has been so critical at the top of this lineup, and I mean, more than ever, this at-bat she's about to have right now against Duke is critical to set the tone. I mean, it doesn't necessarily need to be a solo shot or a hit, but how can they set the tone after giving up 4 in the top half? But you mentioned it, second in the ACC in hits, I believe, behind Isa Torres, which those two women are some of the best in the country.
So Thompson gets things started for the Tar Heels. Carolina tops in the ACC, hitting .375 as a team. Facing left-hander Cassidy Curd, one of the best veteran arms in the league. Curd, the first of what we expect to be several arms for Duke over the course of this game. Into left, Thompson begins the ball game with her 68th hit of the year for the Heels.
Yeah, and that's a great start for Sanaa Thompson. And when you look at that third bullet point there, command is key for Cassidy Curd. She's got the stuff. She is a veteran presence. She's got the elite movement up in the zone. She throws hard, but the command is key in a sense that not only does she have to attack the zone, but if she misses middle, that's when she gets in trouble. I think that last pitch creeped out over the middle of the plate. Sanaa Thompson took advantage. And so when we look at Cassidy Curd and what she means to this Duke team, she's got to be able to command the zone and not miss over the middle.
Bunt dropped down by Lexi Roberts, and the Blue Devils unable to field it cleanly. 2 on, nobody out for Carolina.
Gosh, Lexi Roberts, so good in this position. Just will make you work. She'll put the pressure on you. I think Tyrena Jones expected this, but overran it. Lexi Roberts gets a nice piece of that off to left side, knowing it's a lefty pitcher. That's a tough play when you bunt it at her pitcher, knowing they have to make the spin move and make the perfect throw. Carolina getting things going.
And here comes Emily Leggett. She leads the ACC in home runs, ranks top 5 nationally. Virginia Tech transfer. First season in Chapel Hill for the power-hitting first baseman. Nothing in 2. Head coach Megan Smith-Lyon calls her super competitive but very calm. Not an in-your-face yelling kind of player, more a quiet killer mentality. But that bat has been loud. 0-2.
Yeah, you don't need to say much when you've hit 20 bombs on the year. And watching her hit, watching her approach, I think head coach Megan Smith-Lyon obviously knows her players better than anybody, but you can feel, you can get a sense that Leggett is a pro in the batter's box.
Leggett grew up in Florida playing with Kat Rodriguez, who was a graduate transfer to North Carolina last year from Pitt. Had a breakout season for the Tar Heels, and on Rodriguez's recommendation, Leggett chose Chapel Hill when she went in the portal, and the Tar Heels sure are glad she did. Curd's 1-2. Great battle in a pivotal spot early in this game. If Carolina can punch back with a crooked number of their own, we're in for a high-scoring affair on a Friday night. But if Curd can battle out of this, even limiting the damage to, let's say, 1 run, maintain a comfortable lead for Duke, Blue Devils go into the driver's seat early. Another 1-2. Ball 2.
Yeah, and in looking at the scouting report for Cassidy Curd, we talked about the elite movement up in the zone, talked about she throws hard, but one piece that she's tried to work in is a drop ball and a changeup. And here is where you really feel like you need that pitch. Leggett finding her timing on the fastball, and dangerous spot to be in.
Leggett, fly ball, right field, and that'll drop down foul. Gave it a ride, but it turns into a long, loud foul ball.
Yeah, we'll take a look here. I mean, this is inches away from a 2-run double for Emily Leggett. I thought initially that ball had a chance, but looked like she was potentially a little bit early off the end of the bat. But, I mean, if that's what it looks like when she's early, can't imagine the power when she's on time.
And the old adage, Rain, feel free to dispute this, is that the longer the at-bat goes, the more it favors the hitter.
Absolutely, especially with Leggett. She's actually second on the team in pitches per plate appearance, but she's like one of the best on the team in terms of chase. So she'll see pitches she doesn't chase, and she'll make you pay. Yeah, there's that drop ball from Cassidy Kerr, which I think is huge. Leggett not fooled by it, but the ability to change levels limits a hitter's ability to set their body up for something up or something down. If you know a pitcher's only going to go up in the zone, you set your frame up, you don't hinge as much. But now that Kurt has shown both, Leggett has to fight off both.
Pops up the 3-2. Left side of the infield. Oakland, the shortstop, has it in foul grounds. Curd wins the long battle with Leggett.
That was a lot of fun to watch. That's good softball. That pitch before the drop ball that Leggett fouls off sets up that rise ball to where Leggett's not quite on time with the barrel out in front. Gets the easy pop-up. Huge out early in this game for Duke.
Here's Shelby Barbie, the cleanup batter for Carolina. Second-year Tar Heel, transfer from Virginia. Known for a defense a year ago, hit near the bottom of the Carolina order. A walk-off home run to secure a series win against NC State last year sparked an offensive revival for Barbie that has carried forward to this day.
Yeah, when you look at the numbers for Shelby Barbie, I think a revival is a great word, but also it just, you know it's within these athletes, and sometimes the college game and how you're pitched and your life and transferring can have so many factors, but Barbie's put it all together this year.
Barbie pops up the 2-0. Out to center. Back-to-back outs recorded by Curd as Jennings makes the catch. Give Cassidy Curd a lot of credit. Back-to-back hard hit balls. The one from Thompson, the long, loud foul ball off the bat of Leggett. She's held these two runners aboard with 2 outs. Michelle Tarpey, transfer from NC State, was part of that Wolfpack team last year when Barbie hit the walk-off home run. What a comeback against her former team last weekend. 6 of 11 with a couple home runs. In this modern era of college sports, you start to see this. Players transferring within conference, which means a much greater chance of playing your old team, going back to play your old team at your old home ballpark. And every player handles it a little bit differently. Megan Smith-Lyons said that Michelle Tarpey was excited for that moment, and it showed with her play in Raleigh.
Yeah, if you're going to circle a weekend on the schedule after you've transferred from a place to go back and have your best weekend statistically, I think Michelle Tarpey picked really well. And it doesn't surprise me, even at NC State last year, when you look at the year she put together, she was the name that pitching staff circled, said, we're not going to let Michelle Tarpey beat us. Now baked into this lineup where there's so many weapons she gets pitched to, and at NC State really showed off.
In a hitter's count with 2 on. And after the visit to the circle, Curd fires in a strike. Tarpey comes from a long line of NC State graduates, but transferred to Carolina. Tarpey, shallow right, and 3 straight pop-ups retire the side after the back-to-back hits. 5-0 Duke after an inning. Duke loses at home to Boston University, the second time in the early season they had lost to BU. Drops them to 500 on the year. Since then, Blue Devils are 20-2. They have been rolling into April. A switch flipped there right at the end of the month of February.
Yeah, when we talked to Coach Young ahead of this series, I asked her about, hey, when you guys were 9-9, what were those conversations like? Because that's not a comfortable place to be in, especially after the last few years where they've been dominant. They haven't lost 9 games of the first 18, and she said we wanted to forge our team to put them through the ringer early. I mean, they faced not only BU twice, which is a great program, UCLA, Georgia, Oregon, Oklahoma, LSU, Texas A&M. You add that on top of their conference play, and it's clear early on, although they took more losses than they might have liked, they're now playing their best softball heading into May.
Duke started the year with 3 straight weekends on the road. They had a tournament at UCF. One of the Boston University losses occurred there. UCF, a solid program now in the Big 12. But then the Blue Devils went on the back-to-back gauntlet of Clearwater and the Mary Nutter in back-to-back weeks. And those are 2 tournaments that are going to test you because of how stacked those fields are. Blue Devils batted around in the first. Deanna Jennings led off with a solo home run. She begins the second as well.
Yeah, and going back to that piece, I think what led them through that was these veterans understanding how long a season is, not getting discouraged by the first 18 games, but letting it inform them, not saying this is who we will be in May, but getting better each and every day.
It's 3 months between the weekend of the Mary Nutter out there in Palm Springs and Super Regional weekend. And those 3 months can transform you individually and as a team so much.
Right, and the starting lineups on the first game in February are very rarely the same as the final starting lineup. And ultimately, too, as an athlete, when you look back at how you played in February, who you played, if you lost, it's kind of all in the wash because you're a different team by May if you do it right, if you're playing your best softball in the year.
Three-two full count on Jennings. Payoff pitch from Living Good. Jennings rolls it over, right side. Well handled by the Tar Heel defense, 4-3. So the Blue Devils get into the month of March, and they start facing ACC tough competition, especially at home. 3 ranked teams have come into the Smith Family Stadium in Durham, and the Blue Devils won all of these series. Virginia Tech, Stanford, and then sweeping Virginia last weekend. And Coach Young's team made better by that difficult February schedule, and it's shown off in ACC play.
Yeah, and what you don't see when you see the series wins is the 6-run comeback against Stanford in Game 3, or the really tight ball games with Virginia in Game 2, and just the adversity back and forth that they faced that they didn't fold to.
Amina Vega, fly ball, left field and gone. 6-0 Duke. Vega's 11th of the year.
When we talk about this Duke team and getting through that 9-9 stretch, a huge piece of that has got to be on the shoulders of Amina Vega. The consistency, and look at this pitch. This is where she's gotten beat, if she's gotten beat. It's inside on the hands. This is not a bad pitch by the freshman Living Good. It's just better execution by Amina Vega and the strength. I mean, that's an inside pitch that she went oppo and got it out of the ballpark.
It's a veteran hitter doing veteran hitter things. Having won the count on Jessica Oakland, singled her first time up. I mentioned a 6-run comeback by Duke to win that Stanford series. They had dropped Game 2, trailed big in the 3rd game, the series finale. Won it 17-14. I'd say Todd Polino banged in a field goal for Manny Diaz's ACC football champion Blue Devils. 17-14 final score. Nope, that was a softball game.
Yeah, and it was an Amina Vega grand slam to tie that ball game up. And it was pandemonium in the ballpark, and then it was that Tyrena Jones home run to win it. Jess Oakland was right in the middle of that mix too. No surprise there, but just resiliency day after day from this Duke squad.
Blue Devils get here currently on a 6-game win streak. Started with that Stanford victory. Sweep of Virginia last weekend and a comfortable 12-5 midweek win over Liberty. Mercy Young with a conversation with our home plate umpire, Brad Newton. Oakland's roller foul. Jill Livingood, second pitcher of the night for the Tar Heels after Kenneray Dark started. Faced 4 batters, did not record an out. 2 strikeouts for Livingood in the first. Megan Smith-Lyon loves Livingood's confidence. It's allowed her to step up in big moments. That's earned her a much larger role as the year has gone along for the Tar Heels. Two count against Oakland's. The pitch. Quite the battle going on between the 3-hitter in the Duke lineup and the second pitcher of the night for the Tar Heels.
Yeah, I don't envy the freshman Jill Livingood here because she's executed great pitches over and over and over again, and Jess Oakland makes it look so easy to just spoil them. Has great plate coverage, doesn't have a lot of holes in her swing, so for Livingood, just tough to go out there and just keep pounding the zone. And 9th pitch of the at-bat, it's a quality at-bat for Jess Oakland. It'll go in the chart that way, but it's also a quality at-bat for me watching Livingood.
The quality at-bat results in a fly ball to center that nestles in Thompson's glove, and Livingood ultimately prevails with the flyout.
Yeah, and I can see why head coach Megan Smith-Lyon loves Jill Livingood in the circle, because that's 2 outs in this inning where it's been a battle back and forth against some of the best hitters in the country in Deanna Jennings and Jess Oakland. And it's a 7+ pitch at bat, and she continues to execute pitch after pitch, gets the weak fly ball, and now 2 outs in the inning.
Bases clear with those 2 outs. Tyrena Jones, 3-run home run her last time up. Turned a 1-0 game into a 4-0 game. Blue Devils have added 2 more since. Here's some good news if you're a Duke fan. When Jones seems to find her power swing, it stays with her. She has 3 sets of back-to-back games with home runs this season. Dinger tomorrow, she makes it 4. You heard it first here. 1-2.
You're on it. You're always on it. Yeah, 22's punch-outs on the year for Jones. So to that point, has the power, but also has struggled with the swing and miss at times. But if you're Duke, she's hit a home run already.
Flying ball, shallow center field, and it's the shortstop, Outlaw, who gets to it. Solo home run from Vega extends the Duke lead, 6-0, middle 2.
Yes.
We're going to go with that. Yes, you got to believe. 6-0 Duke headed to the bottom of the second. North Carolina boasts the top scoring offense in the ACC, number 5 scoring offense in the country. Some of these numbers are video game-like for Megan Smith-Lyon's Heels.
Gaudy. I mean, 85 bombs on the year, nearly 9 runs a game. And you look at the batting average, if you had 2 players that were batting .375, you'd be stoked. And to have the entire lineup average out at .375 means you've got some real offensive weapons in Carolina Blue.
It's a Tar Heel team that is a little more power-based than even Megan Smith-Lyon thought they would be this year. For so many years under Donna J. Papa, the DNA of Carolina was small ball, short game. And there are still a few slappers in the Tar Heel lineup. But this power surge has completely revitalized the way that North Carolina plays. MC Eaton a fly ball to left.
And to that point, Matt, the small ball that softball fans have been used to under Coach Papa now, or with that too, the stolen bases now, third least amount of stolen bases. I don't know if that makes sense schematically, but they don't steal a lot of bases either. It's not they don't steal any, 26 for 30 on the year, but just a different makeup of an offense. But if you're scoring 9 runs a game, I wouldn't change a thing.
Keep it rolling. Tar Heels, like Duke, here on a 6-game win streak. Reagan Jennings, the Texas Tech transfer, is the everyday second baseman for a Carolina team looking for win number 30 on the year tonight. Jennings, an everyday player at Texas Tech 2 years ago, part of the Red Raider group that went to the national championship finals in Oklahoma City last year, though she had a reduced role. Hit the portal, came to North Carolina. Batting 7th in the Tar Heel order. Coach Smith-Lyon said it was an adjustment for Jennings to reacclimate to playing every day. It was a different role than what she had last year. That took some time to get used to, especially in a new setting.
Yeah, Chapel Hill probably is a little bit different than Lubbock. I've never been to Texas Tech, but I imagine just being on campus in Chapel Hill, wearing Carolina blue, being an everyday player, plus the academic side, it's got to be a unique situation, but she's done a great job.
Fewer dust storms in Chapel Hill.
Yeah.
More pollen, though. Jennings to left, down for a hit. Third knock of the game for the Tar Heels, a 1-out single for Reagan Jennings. So Cassidy Curd had retired 4 in a row before that knock from Jennings. Raina Blackwell, the Tar Heel catcher, will stand in. Second year in Chapel Hill for Blackwell. A little bit shorter of a transfer journey for her. She started her college career at Charlotte. Rain, what do you make of the fact that all 4 of those outs that were recorded by Curd in a row were all on pop-ups or fly balls?
Matt, are you reading my mind?
Potentially. There's another fly ball out to center, and it nestles in the glove of Jennings, who makes a sliding catch.
What I was going to say on that, too, is as we see Raina Blackwell retired, but that's the adjustment I liked from Jennings. I mean, Raina Blackwell does the same thing, gets a line drive out in the outfield. I think when you see 4 weak fly balls in a row, what that tells you is the approach needs to change and you're a little bit off time. The barrel's not getting out in front of you. So for Jennings and Blackwell back-to-back there to make the adjustment and fine line drives, that's what I want to see if I'm Corey Lyon, Megan Smith-Lyon, and the rest of the staff.
Reese Outlaw, the shortstop, next for the Heels. Megan Smith-Lyon, the head coach for Carolina, but the third base coach and hitting coach is her husband, Corey Lyon, the man behind the power surge for the Tar Heels. Former head coach at the Division I level in his own right. sophomore from down east, Mount Olive, North Carolina. Curd a strike away from hanging another 0 on the board. Two-two pitch to Outlaw. Ball 3 on a player who's seen a role expand throughout the year. Won 9 out of 38 this season. 4 over 9 hits have been for extra bases. Trying to prolong the inning for the Heels. And she does so with a 2-out walk. First walk issued by Curd.
That's a great AB by Reese Outlaw. Talking about Emily Leggett earlier, how she sees a lot of pitches. She's second to Reese Outlaw, which is exactly who you want in your 9-hole, to work the count, extend the inning, extend at bats, and eventually pass the bat to one of the best hitters in the country in Sanaa Thompson.
Thompson picked up her 68th hit of the year in her first trip to the plate. Leads the team by a wide margin. Open play today, 4th in the nation in hits. Thompson, bouncer left side, knocked down by Oakland, but she will have no play, and the sacks are full. Oakland had a range to her right. She kept it out of left field, but unable to field it cleanly.
Yeah, this one goes back to the 5-6 hole. Jones comes over. I don't know if Jones either blocked the sight or vision of Jess Oakland. Don't think Oakland had a play anyway. The only play there to me is if Tyrena Jones rotates back, covers third, Oakland fakes throw to first or second, tries to get Reagan Jennings off of third base, but instead the speed of Sanaa Thompson and the pressure that this UNC offense puts on this defense so far tonight has led to some opportunities.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Lexi Roberts bunted for a hit last time. Is charged as an E6 on Oakland to allow Thompson to reach. Roberts, second-year Tar Heel, transfer from Radford. Down in an 0-2 hole. Curd had 1 on, 2 out, and a walk and an error. Bases loaded now. Good eye by Roberts.
Yeah, good take there. And for Duke, having to respect the speed of Lexi Roberts with the 2 strikes, a soft slap is the only thing that'll beat you in front. As head coach Marissa Young is going to take a moment to talk to her pitching staff, her battery, Cassidy Curd and Kyrie Rodriguez. I imagine here it's, hey, we've shown all of our cards. Lexi Roberts does not swing and miss a lot. What do you feel most good with in terms of attacking and command? I think the only way they get her out here on a swing and miss is a drop ball in on the hands, which is tough to do against a lefty. But this is a huge moment in this game. If Lexi Roberts can find a way on, you pass the bat to Emily Leggett with a bases loaded opportunity or something of the sort. And for Duke, if you are able to get out of this with no damage, that's 2 innings in a row where you've had threats, but nothing's come on the board.
Tar Heels stranded 2 last inning. 1-2. Swing and a miss, and Curd strands the bases loaded with her first strikeout of the night. The visit to the circle pays off. Duke up big after 2. the Duke softball program quite literally from scratch. By night, she's softball mom. Daughters Jelena and Layla Lamar. That's during their high school career at Panther Creek High School in Cary, North Carolina. Layla spent a year in Gainesville at the University of Florida, hit the transfer portal, and is now back home in Durham playing for mom. So cool.
Yeah, what a cool story. And I can remember when Duke softball had just started, we were practicing, and as soon as we were done practicing, we just cleaned up. Layla and JoJo would come on the field 11, 12 years old and look better than us. And so to see them now having all the success that they are having is really, really fun.
We talked with Coach Young about that process for Layla Lamar, a year in Gainesville, and Mercy Young was the first to say, given just who she was as a human, she needed to get away. She wanted to get away from home and go somewhere and experience college out on her own. Made 3 starts in her 1 year playing for Florida, and then decided, okay, let me hit the portal. And Mercy Young said, you know, even back in high school, she knew Duke had everything that Layla was looking for in a college destination. But when she was in the portal, she wore the mom hat and let Layla take her visits, including to Duke. But when it became apparent that this would be a great fit, she went into coach mode, and the rest is history.
Yeah, and to be fair to Layla, I think she committed in middle school, or early high school. And at the time, our Duke team was not doing super well, and Florida, I think, had just come off, College World Series. And so now that Duke is competing in Oklahoma City, obviously that's a piece of the equation. Florida's a great school. Obviously, Duke's a great school. Carolina's a great school. But to see them now back in action together, apparently early on there was some accidentally calling her mom on the field, but it seems like they've gelled perfectly.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Lamar leading off ball 3. And we asked Marissa, okay, let's say you're out of practice and Layla needs to get your attention from across the field. What is she yelling? Marissa Young very quick say, oh, it's coach. Now, that was not perfect right from the get-go. There were some natural slip-ups. You can't undo 18, 19 years of communicating with one another, but they've settled into that routine. And Layla begins the top of the 3rd with a base hit on the full count pitch. Duke offensively rolling with 5 in the 1st, another run in the 2nd on the solo homer from Vega. And on this 2nd trip through the order, Lamar has her 1st hit of the night. Jill Livingood, a word of advice from Shelby Barbie. Now Reese Outlaw comes over. KK Mathis is next, designated player from Duke. Former Gatorade Player of the Year for the sport of softball in her native Ohio. 1-1.
Yeah, Matt, we might not see it tonight, but KK Mathis, which I'm sure we'll talk about, has made her way back into the circle. In high school, pitched 400 innings in Ohio to lead herself to be the Gatorade Player of the Year. Also an incredible batter in the batter's box. But might see her in the circle again in Chapel Hill.
Lifts that one to left field. Thompson back, leaps, and it's gone. Sixth home run of the season for Mathis, and the Blue Devils make it an 8-0 lead.
Gosh, up and down this lineup for Duke, it doesn't get any easier for the freshman Livingood. KK Mathis gets a drop on the outside edge and does not miss it. Sanaa Thompson gives it all she can to make this close. But 4th bomb on the evening for this Duke team. 8 runs through 2 plus innings.
7 of the 9 Duke starters have a hit. One who doesn't is Kyrie Rodriguez, who struck out swinging her first time. And for what it's worth, Lamar and Mathis, the first 2 Blue Devils to see Livingood twice, both record hits.
Yeah, and I wonder for Layla Lamar if there's some overlap there with her time in Panther Creek, living good from Wake Forest, North Carolina. If they played each other in high school, I'm sure they knew about each other. But that's a great point, Matt. The more you see a pitcher, especially that second time through when you can make adjustments, so critical.
Panther Creek and Cary, Wake Forest north of Raleigh, but both in Wake County. Strike 3 called, and Rodriguez down on strikes for the second time against Living Good.
And how about the bounce back from the freshman? Gets Kyrie Rodriguez in the first on a chase curveball on the outside edge. This one paints the inside edge, gets Rodriguez looking. Rodriguez, the catcher for this Duke squad, so she knows the zone. First strikeout of the inning. Huge bounce back after the home run.
Jayla Stafford doubled her first time despite a diving attempt from Michelle Tarpey in right field. Freshman first baseman from San Diego. 8-0 Blue Devils. 5 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third. Stafford off the end of the bat. Ballpark will hold this one, and Thompson makes the catch for the second out.
Gosh, it really feels like that first pitch home run by Duke shifted the momentum into the Blue Devils dugout. And Carolina with some opportunities last half inning offensively, but really just feels like the wind out of the sails.
Adeline Matthews to right, make it 8 of 9 Blue Devils, seizing that momentum from Jennings' first pitch home run and continuing to push this offense forward all game long. Everybody but Rodriguez with a hit, and Duke's only gone through the order twice. And Megan Smith-Lyon, a conversation now with Mr. Newton. We'll see if this is the end for Living Good. Looks like it will be. So Living Good lifted from the game, 8-0 Duke. And another base runner for the Blue Devils. New pitcher for the Heels after this. Stadium 4 times tonight.
4 times, 4 different athletes, 4 different types of home runs too, really. Oppo from Amina Vega and Tyrena Jones, KK Mathis right up the chute to center field, and Deanna Jennings, who's not a power threat typically, with a line drive to start this game. And they're going to need, if you're Carolina, Lily Parrish to step up in the circle and limit the damage from this Duke offense.
Parrish goes to work against Jennings, who stands in for a third time. Parrish, the Tar Heel sophomore, most famous native of Mechanicsville, Virginia, to play in this rivalry since Rainn Wilson.
You know, Peyton St. George also from Mechanicsville. True. I didn't know if you'd know. I was going to mention Mechanicsville. Got a shout out. Lily went to my rival high school in the Hanover Hawks.
Ball and a strike on Jennings. Throw down to second, and in there safely, Matthews makes her way to scoring position. First action in the circle for Parrish since March 27th against Arizona State. Bumpy outing there, gave up 4 runs over just 2/3 of an inning. A couple of weeks working in the bullpen, now gets the chance to go back out there. 2-1. Jones frustrated with herself on a lazy fly to left. Roberts has it for the 3rd out. 2 more runs, though, score for Duke. Blue Devils up big in the middle of the 3rd. Rivalry at a very early age. Blue Devils up 8-0 at the bottom of the 3rd. Anderson Stadium in Chapel Hill, and Megan Smith Lions Tar Heels embark on a gauntlet of a remaining schedule. The 3 ACC series, Duke at home, Florida State on the road, Virginia Tech on the road. A midweek test at ECU, a team that always plays Carolina tough. And a home midweek against South Carolina out of the SEC. The Tar Heels can certainly solidify their NCAA regional positioning with a strong showing in this stretch, but it is anything but easy. Rain, it is one of the toughest schedules remaining in the nation.
Yeah, absolutely right. When you talk to head coach Megan Smith Lyon about the way she structured her schedule too, you got to imagine that this 9-game block in conference mixed in with South Carolina and ECU was the kind of the end piece that you want to focus on and crescendo towards. And yes, it's a gauntlet, but it's also an opportunity to bolster the resume, to find those quad 1 wins. We're right now 1-7 against top 50 teams. And so UNC has the opportunity here over the next few weekends to get a few key wins, not only here at home, but on the road against some of the best in the country.
Yeah, the Tar Heels, unlike Duke, they played a bunch of home games early and got off to a terrific start. Racked up the wins early on in the season. Didn't take their first loss until March 1st against Boston College. Knowing that their ACC schedule this year was difficult. In the ACC, you've got your permanent rivals, so in Carolina's case, that's Duke and NC State. But then the teams that rotate on this year, your Florida State, your Virginia Tech, your Stanfords, Virginia as well for Carolina. It just feels like the teams that at this moment happen to make up the top end of the ACC are all the teams on Carolina's schedule. And of course, with the success of Duke, a team they play every single year, it just only adds to the challenge of this year's conference slate for the Heels.
Absolutely. And Duke, Florida State not scheduled to face each other in the ACC in this season, but really 2 different perspectives and styles in terms of how both of these head coaches has built out the schedule. We've mentioned it, but you know, not necessarily battle tested if you're Carolina early on, but got momentum. And then for Duke, struggled early on, but now seeing the momentum begin to build.
Megan Smith Lyon said before the season, you know, we know we're going to play so many quad 1 games in conference play, so we want to create a balance. For as many quad 1 games as you play, you want to play as many quad 4 games as you can to match that. And for a team that is still finding its identity, as Emily Leggett sends a fly ball out to center and leaves the yard for the 21st time. Tar Heels on the scoreboard for the first time tonight.
the way Leggett has been swinging the bat all game long, only a matter of time. This pitch out over the middle of the plate, maybe a little way, lefty-lefty matchup. Leggett does not miss it. Immediately into the home run trot. I don't know how far that went. I don't know if we have TrackMan. My guess, 275. Cassie Curd said, hey, I'll give it the solo shot. I'm sure it's going to happen at least once or twice more here this weekend. Leggett's so good, but when you have the bases empty and you have an 8-run cushion, not afraid to attack. Leggett takes advantage.
ACC's leader in home runs adds another one. Shelby Barbie will bat now for the Tar Heels. But going back to the point, Carolina stacking all those wins early against mid-major competition almost exclusively. But for a program finding its identity in year 3 under this coaching staff, building that momentum and seeing that every time you go out there, you're capable of earning a victory, that's one way to look at it, and that's the way that Carolina chose to approach it this year. So it creates this tournament resume for the Tar Heels. That RPI, pretty good shape. Strength of schedule, 113 overall, but 174 non-conference. And so the Tar Heels, volume of wins, that's a number that's in a good place, but the quality is what the question mark is. That could obviously change the rest of the way. Nice defensive play. Throw on the first, though not in time to get Tarpey.
Michelle Tarpey gets a nice piece of this one in the 5-6 hole, and it's a backhanded dive by Jess Oakland, who gets up and throws from the knees. Tarpey able to run it out, but that's good softball on both sides. I thought that play just live was pretty tight. I think head coach Maurice Young is asking our umpiring crew if they saw anything differently, but you know, with a 7-run cushion, actually, here she comes. Maybe she is gonna. Oh no, they're doing pitch comp stuff. Let me take a look. Yeah. Yeah, great call. Tarpey beats it out. Great play by Jess Oakland. But yeah, to that point, Matt, to go back to strength of schedule, it's such a difficult balance because every year I think we learn more about what the committee is looking for in terms of those top 64 teams. Of course, this year, the first year that we'll have 1 through 32 seeded, which will make a huge difference for a team like Carolina, who's used to going to Tennessee, going to Knoxville, going to Athens, going locally where this region is one of the toughest, but need some wins over the next couple of weekends to feel comfortable in the tournament for their second year in a row.
Last year, the Tar Heels went to the Knoxville Regional, their first appearance in the NCAA Regional since 2019. Went 0-2 with losses to Ohio State and Miami of Ohio. This year, trying to get back. They are certainly not a team that may lack quality wins in April and then not have the chance to pick them up. They have them in abundance, as we told you. It's just, can they take the building blocks from the early part of this season and pick up some of those big wins down the stretch here? Jam shot pop up off the bat of MC Eaton, drifting foul. Somebody made a good catch down there, it sounds like. That guy.
Love to see the fans get. It's not banana ball. I know there's some banana ball happening in Chapel Hill tomorrow.
Tomorrow and Sunday, yeah.
And if the fans catch it there, it's an out, but not here.
Did have one of the Savannah Bananas throughout the first pitch prior to this game. Swing and a miss. Eaton down on strikes. It's the second strikeout by Curd. So Cassidy Curd making her way through the lineup a second time. Duke has gone very much pitcher by committee as this season has gone deeper. Marissa Young saying it's just the nature of all the data in college softball these days. It is hard to get a batter out 2-3 times. But they're relying on Curd in this series opener.
Yeah, Cassidy Curd, freshman year, was pitching with Jayla Wright, had some experience, and Jayla Wright definitely had the diversity piece in terms of a nasty drop ball that fell off the table. Cassidy Curd, elite movement up, so they're a great match together. Her sophomore season pitched well, but then she was the name that offense is circled when you face Duke, and so teams started to prepare specifically for Cassidy Curd. So I think that's why you see the ERA inflated. But you see that across all of college softball as we see Jayla Wright sitting to the right of head coach Marissa Young.
First season as an assistant coach, 2024 Duke alum. There's now Coach Wright. 2024, of course, the high water mark for the Blue Devils. The inaugural appearance, the Women's College World Series in Oklahoma City. 1-2. 2-2 on Jennings, who was there last year with Texas Tech. Inning began with a solo home run from Emily Leggett, one out single by Michelle Tarpey. Now Curd trying to end the frame. 3-2. Check the pitch com and the payoff pitch coming. Here it is. Back up the middle, and it scoots into center field for a 2-out knock. 2 on for the Tar Heels. Curd has done a pretty good job limiting North Carolina's explosive offense, but Jennings has herself a 2-hit game so far.
Yeah, Reagan Jennings has been impressive. That first hit she had going backside, that one goes in on the hands, gets enough barrel to punch it through the middle.
Ball one on Raina Blackwell, Tar Heel catcher who flew out to center her first time. Yes, it's a lopsided score, but Blackwell's the 8-hole hitter. If Carolina can get Sanaa Thompson to the plate this inning, that would be a big benefit. Fly ball, center field, and all of a sudden 8-1 becomes 8-4. A big inning for Carolina in the third.
When your 8-hole can do this kind of damage with 2 outs early in this game, we are in the third inning. A lot of softball left. And the catcher, Raina Blackwell, gets her team right back in this game. It started with a Leggett solo shot. Duke, no harm, no foul. Followed by some rallying, a Reagan Jennings single up the middle, and then Raina Blackwell, 3-run shot, 8-4. Carolina cuts into the lead.
And it was quite the battle between Jennings and Curd. Jennings worked the count. Little seeing eye 2-out single keeps the inning going, brings Blackwell to the plate. She clears the fence for the 9th time this year. Reese Outlaw walked her first time. Popped up on the infield. Oakland makes the catch. Tar Heels cut the deficit in half in the third. Long way to go. Oklahoma City, home of the Women's College World Series. Now, it is not a guarantee that these 16 teams, top 16 in the RPI, would be the hosts should the tournament start today. But the RPI does go a long way in the eyes of the committee. Duke in a favorable spot, number 15 in the RPI, aiming to host a 5th consecutive Durham Regional.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it really, I mean, the last 2 weeks of the season, that 12, I would even say a 10 through 16 can shake up a ton. And for Duke, I think the way that the committee has respected the strength of schedule and the ability to challenge them, or for Duke's ability to challenge themselves, non-conference games, road wins, they're in a good position. They do, however, have, I would say, more quad 3 losses than they might like. They're 4-3 in quad 3, which is not a bad statistic by any means. But as this season rolls on and Clemson not having the year they might have wanted, there goes another opportunity to have a quad 1 win this weekend against Carolina, very important. And so there's a lot of things happening in the ACC tournament in Charlottesville.
For sure. Clemson comes to Duke Softball Stadium for the final series of the regular season, April 24th to the 26th. And a leadoff walk on 4 pitches to Amina Vega. She's on base for a 3rd time. So Duke's tournament resume here in the middle of April. RPI, as we said, 15th. Strength of schedule's in a good spot, number 13, even higher for non-conference strength of schedule. Look at all those wins against the top 50.
Yeah, I think they definitely have the right to be in the conversation for a top 16 regional host position. Anything can happen. I know head coach Marissa Young does not want to be sitting on that bubble of 14, 15, 16. But again, the way the committee has treated strength of schedule over the last handful of years, I think they are in prime position, but they still have to play their best softball over the next month.
This year, just because of the way that February played out for Duke, this debate hinges on whether or not they will get a top 16 or not.
Right.
The strong non-conference schedule was born on a flip to second, on to first. Not in time. Fielder's choice, Vega out, Oakland reaches. But to continue the point, it was born based upon the fact that Duke, in a year in which they had 7 losses, I'll hold the phone here.
I think there was some confusion there regarding whether Amina Vega was safe. I think she was hearing from her coaching staff to just run to third. We'll take a look here. Amina Vega slides in for the fielder's choice. And then, don't know if, yeah, we'll see the umpire here make the call. Yep, see out. All right, we'll play softball. You were saying something really eloquent and wonderful.
We're talking about how, so in 2024, Duke, 7 losses on the year, ACC tournament champs, and they did not receive a top 8 national seed. So Coach Young's team had to go on the road to Missouri to play a super regional. And she wanted to ensure that her team, if they were in that spot where, in her eyes, they were worthy of a top 8 national seed, they never had to play another road super regional. The metrics were almost better in 24 when they went on the road for a super versus 23 when they hosted Stanford in the super regional.
Right. Yeah, and hosted an Ijuri Kennedy Stanford team that ended up going to the World Series and competing to be one of the top 4 teams in the country, as we see Ariel Kruger, a pinch runner for Duke. But yeah, there's a method to the madness, and now with this data, not only can you set up your defense in a perfect way, set up your offense perfectly, but there is data as well. And the Blackwell back pick on Kruger. Carolina fans wanted it, but now there is data, there's KPIs, there's objective measurements that teams can look at to see how they need to schedule to get that best positioning possible for postseason. And head coach Marissa Young feels like putting her team through those tough tests early in the season, followed by a tough conference schedule, is that recipe for the best possible postseason performance.
2 balls and a strike on Jones. 3-run homer in the first. 2-2. And while Duke played that tough schedule early, you know, they didn't lose all those games. Quality wins against Texas A&M, Oklahoma State early on in the year. Ohio State was a tournament team last year. Swept them at home. Sure, you would have liked to have won a couple more of your Georgias, your Oklahoma, UCLA kind of games, but it made them better. Runner going, and Kruger's out. Good throw from Blackwell.
Well, how about Blackwell doing it on both sides of the ball? Great positioning there by Reese Outlaw. Raina Blackwell, perfect throw from the knees, knew it right away, eliminates the threat. And Blackwell, the junior, fired up.
The base is empty, 2 down now. And Jones swings and misses at a pitch in the dirt. For the first time tonight, Duke does not score. The momentum is flipped back on the Tar Heels side, halfway home. This gentleman, inspired by that TV show Minute to Win It, trying to scoop the Oreo into his mouth. Oh, he got it! Let's go! Wow. Good softball on the field. Entertainment in the stands as well. There's one of the Savannah Bananas. Beautiful night for a ball game and a big crowd at Anderson Stadium. 12 combined runs going to the bottom of the 4th in this series opener. Cassidy Curd back to work for the Tar Heels to face Sanaa Thompson. This is a 3rd trip through the Carolina order for Curd.
Yeah, and this is really when statistically offenses have the biggest advantage. They've seen a pitcher twice. They've seen how they're trying to attack.
And Thompson with their 2nd hit of the game.
And another great job by Thompson to take advantage of a pitch on the inner half and just let the power and the bat speed do the work to get through the 5-6 hole. But to your point, Matt, about this team, seeing Cassie Curd a 3rd time through, I think in one vein for Duke, you're thinking, well, hey, if we show them Cassidy Curd all game long, we don't show them any other arms that they haven't seen. But you also have to balance that with the momentum that you're seeing from this Carolina offense that, hey, they're getting on time, their best hitters are on time, and the power numbers are starting to come.
A 4-run 3rd for the Tar Heels cut the deficit in half. And in the circle, Lily Parrish held Duke scoreless for the first time all game in the top of the 4th. Got the shift on Lexi Roberts.
Yeah, they're going to bring Addie Matthews, the left fielder, in to play shortstop, essentially.
Drops down the bunt. That's a fair ball. Throw on to first in time. Thompson to scoring position. And Roberts with the well-executed sacrifice.
Yeah, if this one had been about a foot further from the plate, there's no play. Kyrie Rodriguez kind of takes an interesting angle. It's almost like she didn't see where the ball was initially, just in time to get Lexi Roberts. But another great bunt by this UNC team to move runner over, and Leggett, the biggest threat. Yeah, Curd looking with some confusion there. First pitch to Leggett, just misses. Now, high leverage count for Leggett.
And Leggett flies it out to right. Anderson Stadium holds it. Lamar makes the catch. The speedy Thompson goes to third. But the moment that ball struck the bat of Leggett, you could see the frustration. 21st homer of the season, her last time up. This ends up with a fly out to right. Thompson is on third, but 2 outs, so no sac fly. So Curd is lifted. She faces Leggett for a third time, and KK Mathis will enter the circle for Duke. Tar Heels punching back. This game is Duke's DP. Now she'll make her 4th pitching appearance of the season, all of them since March 31st against Campbell. Duke only 4 true pitchers on their roster. But as the year has gone along, Marissa Young entrusting KK Mathis to join that group, and she provides Duke with even more pitching depth, and on one pitch, strands a runner at third. One pitch, third outs, 8-4 after 4. The Blue Devils stepped off the bus and brought the bats with a 4-run outburst to chase Kenna Ray Dart from the game. Blue Devils would add another in a 5-run first inning.
Yeah, just a picture-perfect start if you're head coach Marissa Young and this Duke team. First pitch, first swing, first run to get the momentum into the Blue Devils dugout, followed by a few more bombs throughout the game, but Carolina right back in this thing. And it really feels like the momentum, if it's not shifted completely into the Tar Heels dugout, it's right in the middle, up for grabs.
Duke led 8-0 in the middle of the third. Carolina responded with a 4-run bottom of the third. And Lily Parrish put a 0 on the board in the top of the fourth. It's Parrish, who's had an up-and-down sophomore season, hadn't pitched since March 27th, who comes out of the Tar Heel pen, and Megan Smith-Lyon entrusts her to settle this game down, and that she has.
And what a great opportunity for the freshman Parrish to enter this rivalry in a time where, I mean, at the time when she came in the ball game, it was pretty lopsided. I'm sure that head coach Megan Smith-Lyon and Corey Lyon and the rest of the staff had a ton of confidence that their offense could get them back into it. But a great way for the freshman Parrish to cut her teeth, and she's done so with great pitches. I mean, the drop on the outside edge has looked like it has a ton of command, and then the changeup too, which she'll need as this game progresses.
Facing Layla Lamar, who's 1 for 2. Lamar singled and scored in the third. And Lamar in the air to left, off the wall. Lamar takes a big turn. She'll slide into second, leadoff double for Duke in the fifth.
There's so many players on both sides that we could talk about, but Layla Lamar has kind of flown under the radar as one of the best hitters on this Duke team, especially as of late. Her pitch selection, her game plan, her ability to adjust pitch to pitch, gets the drop on the outside edge, does not miss it. Another line drive for the sophomore who passes the bat to KK Mathis.
Mathis homered her last time up, rolls over this one to third. Good play, and now a throw on to third. High IQ softball play by Layla Lamar. She waited for Barbie to look her back to the bag, then the moment that Barbie let go of the throw, Lamar took off for third.
Yeah, watch the play here. Reads it perfectly, gets enough off the bag. I think Barbie actually had a chance to pick her off at second base, but reads the jump perfectly, gets to third, takes advantage of the extra 60 feet with less than 2 outs. That's a huge play for Layla Lamar.
Kylie Rodriguez had struck out twice, so Duke calls upon a pinch hitter here. Duke has one of their freshmen taking at bat. It is Gabriella Shattuck, freshman from Kinnelon, New Jersey. Ball and a strike on Shattuck. First appearance in an ACC game since March 29th against Stanford. But had a couple of hits in the midweek this week against Liberty. Shattuck hit her first career home run earlier this year against National Power Oklahoma State back in mid-February at the Clearwater. 2-1. Ball 3.
Yeah, Gabby Shattuck is one of those athletes from Marissa Nunn that's kind of like in the back pocket in a key moment in a big game that can come out and barrel balls, give you a chance to hit a home run, especially in this ballpark. You know, Duke, for example, Smith Family Stadium sits at 180 out to left field, out to right field, but gets really deep at 225 in center. And so the right center and left center gaps can kind of get deep here in Anderson. It's a beautiful ballpark. I love playing here. 200 all around, and so definitely a hitter's ballpark.
And Shattuck comes off the bench, coaxes a walk. Runners at the corners, only 1 out for Duke. The ball can fly out of this beautiful facility in Chapel Hill. It's always fun to watch springtime progress. When the season starts, those trees beyond center fields, they are completely barren. You get to the early part of ACC play in March, the blooms are all white. Sometimes it kind of looks like it's snowing out there when they're flying around, and by this point in the year, lush green. Kayla Stafford 1 for 2 with a double. Blackwell out in the circle talking to Parrish. There's Taylor White, Blue Devil assistant coach and former Tar Heel. 2015 to 2018, played at Carolina, now wearing the other shade professionally. Roller to the left side. Outlaw on to first. Lamar coming home. Did she touch the plate? Yes, she did. Duke plates their 9th run of the game. What great base running this inning from Layla Lamar.
Yeah, she stole a run there. Good base running allowed her to get to third base on a ground ball over to third. And then watch the hook slide. Knows the ball might beat her. Sees that she's going to get past Blackwell. Taps the hand on the plate, and Duke scores another.
Still a runner in scoring position for Adeline Matthews, who's 1 for 2. Been talking with Marissa Young. She and Taylor White overlapped for a year at North Carolina as Coach Young, a former Tar Heel assistant prior to taking the head job at Duke, and said, at the end of the day, Taylor White is just a competitor. Sure, she bleeds Carolina blue, but when it comes to this matchup, she's so competitive that obviously it is all Duke blue nowadays.
Yeah, seeing those two pictures next to each other, here there's head coach Marissa Young, pitching coach formerly in Chapel Hill. And having played against Taylor White, I remember she hit a homer off the scoreboard. And I remember thinking when she got hired at Duke, I was like, I cannot believe she's going to wear that Duke blue, but what an asset that associate coach Taylor White has been on Marissa Young's staff. There's so much overlap between both these programs. The rivalry is also matched with a ton of respect.
Fly ball by Matthews to left. Another dinger for Duke. Third home run of the season for Matthews.
One through 9, this offense is tough. This time it's the freshman Addie Matthews who gets a little bit of help from Gabby Shattuck at second base and signaling it's coming in. And Addie Matthews does not miss it. Knew it right away up into the beautiful trees here in Chapel Hill. Duke takes the 11-4 advantage here in the top of the 5th.
And back to the top of the order in Deanna Jennings, who started this game off with a solo shot. Now you reach a really important part of this game because if Duke can plate one more this inning, it would mean Carolina would need to score in the last of the 5th to keep the game going. Jennings to the left side. Outlaw waits for it. Jennings is so quick, she's on base.
Yeah, and that's what Deanna Jennings can do to you. Oh, they're going to call her out of the box. Excuse me. So, yeah, shows off the speed here. But our home plate umpire noticed her foot was out of the box. Now, with less than 2 strikes, that's just a strike on the batter. It used to be, dead ball out. But Brad Newton, as we take a look at this, as you make contact as a hitter, if any part of your foot is out of the batter's box, it's a dead ball, foul ball. Brad Newton right on top of it. Very close there, but that left toe just outside the batter's box as we get a really good look from our crew. Home plate umpire right on top of it. And I don't know if Deanna Jennings knows. Unless maybe they didn't call it and she was out of the batter's box. Oh my goodness, well.
Yeah, they are calling her safe at
first. Sorry, Brad Newton, just called you out. Okay, well, hey, Deanna Jennings can do it all.
So Jennings aboard, runner at first, 2 out, and here's Amina Vega. Vega solo home run in the 2nd. She's also walked twice. Yet to be retired in this game. you have to like this experience for Lily Parrish because, as we said, with the way that Carolina can score runs, you just need outs to work with. But Duke is in danger of extending the lead back to 8. So in some ways, this is a high leverage situation. She induces a ground ball to second and maintains the deficit at 7. Vega put down for the first time in this game. Duke by 7. "12 runs in the midweek road win against Liberty, 11 and counting here tonight, the series opener in Chapel Hill. Duke's starting pitcher tonight was Cassidy Curd. Curd inducing a lot of fly ball contact, but has Duke comfortably in front in this game.
Yeah, and I think if you're Carolina, you know you're going to see Curd throughout the weekend, and that's an easy adjustment, right? Just weak fly balls. Had some line drives, of course, Leggett with a big bomb, and Rena Blackwell as well. But I think they go back to the video and they see just the small adjustments they need to make to get the barrel. Easier said than done. But credit Cassidy Curd. We talked about her elite movement up in the zone. And when you see out distribution like that, especially if they're weak fly balls, that means you're doing something right in the circle.
Kenkay Mathis, the second pitcher of the game for Duke. Started as the DP, continues in the circle. 2-1 count on Michelle Tarpey. Mathis needed just one pitch to induce a lineout off the bat of Shelby Barbie. End that fourth inning for the Tar Heels and strand a runner at third. Tarpey off the end of the bat. Right center field, on the move, Deanna Jennings gets there! Jennings jets over and denies Tarpey.
Gosh, Jennings can do it all. I mean, kind of took a weird route. Wasn't sure if Amina Vega was going to take it. But the diving play, full extension. KK Mathis, her pitcher, absolutely loving it. That's a huge out in this fifth inning, knowing how much momentum this Carolina offense has had.
Bases clear with one down for MC Eaton. Eaton, transfer from Virginia, listed as a senior, but has another year of eligibility after this. And her freshman campaign, as they would say in Charlottesville, first year, cut short due to injury, so she does have one more year. Player that Megan Smith-Lyon admired going back to her time as the head coach at Marshall. But Eaton, a North Carolina native, ultimately chose to head to Charlottesville. Now Megan Smith-Lyon, on the second try, does get to coach Eaton. Eaton. Long foul ball for strike 2. Head coach says she is just scratching the surface of what she can be as a Tar Heel. KK Mathis in the circle. Prolific pitcher in high school in Ohio. And not pitched this year for Duke. But all of a sudden has added some depth for the Blue Devils in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, truly one of the most unique stories I've ever heard or seen in college softball. This is an athlete who pitched a lot in high school in Ohio, pitched really well, went to James Madison, was a hitter, went to Duke, was a hitter last year, and a utility and a weapon.
Strike three called. Mathis is fired up after striking out Eaton.
And truly a weapon and utility she is, because head coach Marissa Young said, hey, KK, over the summer, can you work on this? Drop ball painter right on the outside edge to get MC Eaton looking. Head coach Marissa Young knew that she wasn't sure what pitchers would come from the portal. And she said, KK, I need you to work on pitching a little bit, just get moving. Ended up not pitching at all up until 2 Sundays ago, pitching a midweek matchup against Campbell, and then pitched twice against Virginia, ranked 12th in the country. Now her 4th appearance in her college career, and has the command like she is a senior in high school in her element.
And we talk about how Duke plays a challenging early season schedule, but as you mentioned, Rain, yes, she had the 1 appearance against Campbell, but now it's 3 straight appearances against ACC competition. Like, this is straight into the thick of it.
It's remarkable. And I think KK Mathis, to me, is an athlete where if you said, hey, you know, Rain, Matt, pick one player to play all 9 positions, bat all 9, like, she is that person. And to just jump out of bed and be able to pull the string on a changeup like that is remarkable. She's such a good athlete. She's so engaged with her teammates, and just remarkable that she's been so good in the circle as well.
Full count against Reagan Jennings. Jennings worked a full count her last time up in the 3rd. Single to keep the inning going. Came in to score on the Raina Blackwell 3-run home run. 3-2. Jennings to the right side. Grounds out to second, and it's a 1-2-3 fifth for KK Mathis. Duke by 7.
One place. Visit activate.espn.com to see if you have ESPN Unlimited as part of your TV package for no additional cost. It's all of ESPN all in one place. Sign up or activate now.
11-4, Duke by 7. On to the 6th. A comfortable 75-degree night in Chapel Hill. Fans of both teams in attendance at Anderson Stadium. 1st of 3 this weekend. 1 o'clock tomorrow, noon Sunday. Weather looks great. Lily Parrish back to the circle for the Tar Heels. She'll face the heart of the Duke order, 3-4-5. Jessica Oakland begins this top of the 6th. A North Carolina team that comes into play in this game off a sweep of NC State in conference action. They're 8-7 in the ACC, but embarking on this 3-series stretch to end of the regular season against Duke, Florida State, Virginia Tech, AKA teams 1 through 3 in the ACC standings. A very difficult close to the year for Carolina. Duke, meanwhile, 20-2 since February 28th. 2-1 on Oakland. Jessica Oakland is from the Bay Area. She's from San Jose, though, not her namesake Oakland. And I'm willing to bet she's heard that joke or a variety of it plenty of times in her life. Leadoff walk.
Yeah, Carolina fans wanted this pitch, but the reason they do is because Raina Blackwell makes it look so good. And watching all the catchers across the ACC, Raina Blackwell, to me, frames up pitches for her pitchers as good as anybody. I mean, that's a ball to me, but man, does she serve it up well and fight for her pitchers, and it adds up over the course of the season. There was a couple pitches prior that she framed up the drop ball, and she got the called strike. That one, another really, really tight pitch, only because of her frame job.
Second-year Tar Heel catcher Blackwell. Everyday starter back there behind the dish. Started her college career at Charlotte. And for Ashley Chastain Woodard's 49ers. Final year before she took over the South Carolina program. Ground ball left side. Second, and the lead runner cut down. Barbie on to Jennings. Oakland cut down. Jones will reach on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, good softball all the way around there. Great job by Lily Parrish to attack the zone, make a pitch, get your team to collect an out, and then great job by Barbie to understand the speed and the direction of the ball, make a solid throw over Reagan Jennings.
Layla Lamar hits in her last 2 at-bats, single and a double. You see the player as a single and a double, you think to yourself, okay, they're on their way to the cycle in order, right? Halfway there. Well, back in high school, playing at Panther Creek, once Layla Lamar hit for the home run cycle. That's a solo shot, a 2-run homer, a 3-run homer, and a grand slam all in the same game. A casual 10 RBI day.
That's unbelievable.
What a feat. 2-1 on the Blue Devil right fielder. Next pitch for Parrish will be her 50th, third pitcher of the night for the Heels. Trying to work down in the zone, not getting these calls from Mr. Newton though.
And I honestly feel for Brad Newton behind the plate because Raina Blackwell makes every single pitch look competitive. And these Carolina fans, I know, are fighting for their pitcher in the circle, Lily Parrish.
Roller to first. It will advance the runner to scoring position. Legette's only play was to pick it up and step on the bag. So Jones is at second. 2 away, and here's KK Mathis. Mathis is masterful in the circle. She's set down 4 straight Tar Heels. Now trying to punch home a run to push Duke up by 8. Mathis swings at the first pitch. It's a fly ball to right, and this one will officially go the distance tonight. 11-4, Blue Devils by 7. think there's going to be power up and down the lineup. This is out of the 8-hole. Marina Blackwell's 9th homer of the season came back in the 3rd.
Yeah, and it was at a time when her team needed her the most. 8-hole in the order, down 8-1, 3-run shot to get her team right back in it. Of course, Duke responds in the top of the 5th with 3 runs of their own, but 9 home runs on the year for your 8th spot means you got depth up and down your lineup, and they're going to need her to get things going here, trailing 7 in the bottom of the 6th.
Tar Heel team that ranks 5th in the nation, tops in the ACC in scoring into this weekend series, nearly 9 runs a game. They played at all 4 of their runs in the 3rd. The 3-run homer we just showed you from Blackwell, also a solo homer from ACC leading Emily Leggett to get that frame going. Carolina will need another crooked number or 2 to battle their way back in this one. KK Mathis in the circle. 4 consecutive Tar Heels retired in relief of Cassidy Curd. Two and 1 the pitch. Down low for ball 3. And the Tar Heels have their first base runner since the 4th inning.
That's a great job. Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, Matt. This is a great job, Arena Blackwell, to be really patient, to see her pitches. This is a position where you've hit a home run, you might get excited, might get amped up and want to do that again for your team. But it actually adds way more value here to pass the bat, earn the free pass, no 7-run swing, and Arena Blackwell does just that.
Freshman outfielder Sahara Wilson will run for the Tar Heels. For the catcher. And Carolina will also call a pinch hitter here. Bringing a left-handed bat to the plate. One with the veteran Kiwi Pierce. Swings at the first pitch, fly ball, right field, and it's caught up against the fence by Lamar. Pierce comes up hacking, gave it a ride. Lamar gets there though.
Gosh, what a play by Layla Lamar, up against the wall on the run. Full extension, imprints, and then next play. You can see where the visor hit. That is a huge out, especially as Kiwi Pierce turns the lineup over to Sanaa Thompson.
Back to the top of the order for Thompson, who's got a couple of hits tonight. Pierce was up there confident, gave it a jolt. Lamar got there. So Mathis and the Blue Devils have to work through the dangerous top of this Tar Heel order once more. Carolina 5 offensive outs to work with.
Yeah, I think head coach Marissa Young should walking out now, and definitely think KK Mathis just right around missing the zone, and KK understands more than anybody, hey, this is the time to attack. You got some cushion here, trust your defense, collect outs. So I imagine right now it's just a physical cue by head coach Marissa Young. She knows her athletes super well. Sometimes it's an emotional cue or a reset, but might be some mechanical discussion here about why KK is missing the zone.
Brief conversation, a high five with her catcher Rodriguez. Two balls and no strikes on Thompson. Critical spot if you're Carolina. If you get Thompson aboard, Roberts up next is the put the ball in play, cause chaos on the infield kind of player. Thompson, a fly ball. Left field, and this one is way out of here. 13th homer of the season for Thompson. North Carolina pulls within 5.
Matt, these women tonight are making hitting look way too easy. Check out the swing from Sanaa Thompson. Gets a pitch, middle elevated, and not quite a bat flip, but a bat throw that just reeks of swagger. What a job by Sanaa Thompson all night long with the plate discipline, the selection, and then getting her best swing off. Carolina within 5.
Mathews stays out there to face Roberts. Roberts 1 out of 2. Thompson brings North Carolina within 5. 3rd hit of the game, 70th hit of the season for the Tar Heel center fielder. Megan Smith-Lyons says she goes all out all the time. It oozes out of her. What a description of a player. Meanwhile, 3-0 count on Roberts. This game is far from over, the way that North Carolina can score runs.
Well, now with KK Mathis right around the zone, Carolina working themselves into high leverage hitters counts. Advantage Carolina.
Back to the circle. Mathis fields her position well for the 2nd out.
Yeah, and that is a huge out. Now you get Emily Leggett again with the bases cleared, and that's key. You can afford to give a solo shot to Leggett, as it looks like they're going to make a change here. And Mallory Wheeler will come to this ballgame.
So Wheeler becomes the 3rd pitcher of the game for Duke because Carolina has made it a little bit closer. Sanaa Thompson for the 13th time this year. 2-run shot to left. For number 16, Mallory Wheeler, the sophomore transfer from Louisiana. Florida native, comes on to face another Floridian, Emily Leggett, already with a homer today for North Carolina. Warnings in the midweek against Liberty for Wheeler. 0-2. Tar Heels already with a 2-run homer this half inning coming from Sanaa Thompson. Leggett aiming to pull this game even closer. Seems like a ridiculous thing to say, Rain, but the fact that the Tar Heels were able to prevent this game from getting to run rule territory was such a big win because of how explosive their offense is.
Well, it almost feels like the run rule should be adjusted with how these offenses are playing college softball. I mean, you look at the Duke-Stanford series in Game 3, it's the 7th inning, they're down by 6 runs, it's 14-8, and you can, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, it's probably not gonna work out. But to your point, 8 runs, 9 runs, 10 runs is within striking distance for this Carolina offense. Just truly remarkable.
Get on the ground wide at first.
Yeah, and I like the move here by head coach Marissa Young to plug Wheeler in this position. Wheeler has more movement down in the zone than KK Mathis. KK missing around the zone, but it's key to go glove side in on the hands of Leggett down in the zone. If she has an Achilles heel, which I wouldn't describe it as, it is there.
Good job by Leggett to work this count from 0-2 to 3-2.
And you got to show her something arm side and up just to change the eye level, keep her guessing. Now Leggett has to battle from both sides, but I think they go right back to the drop ball on the inner half. Oh, nope. Just kidding.
2-out walk.
And I honestly don't, I mean, obviously with the bases loaded, or excuse me, the base is empty, you got some more flexibility. I don't think it's a bad idea. I think Leggett is at that level of like Barry Bonds, bases loaded, intentional walk.
Truly one of the more remarkable things you'll ever see. For all her success this season, coming in and hitting over 400, Shelby Barbie is 0 for 3 tonight. Will she have success against Wheeler, who she sees for the first time? .1-0 lifted to right. Caught by Vega. Tar Heels score a pair on the Thompson homer. It'll be a 5-run Duke lead to our final inning of regulation. With two of the most prolific offenses in the country going at it in a rivalry series opener. It's been a high-scoring one tonight in Chapel Hill. 17 combined runs, a 5-run advantage for visiting Duke. Blue Devils one more chance to add some insurance against Lily Parish in North Carolina. Here in the top of the 7th. Duke is led by as many as 8 tonight. Built the lead back to 7 with 3 runs in the 5th. North Carolina responds with 2 in the last of the 6th. Gabriela Shattuck walked her first time up in relief of Kyrie Rodriguez. And starts with ball 1 here against Parrish. Shattuck, Stafford, and Matthews. Bottom third of Marissa Young's lineup. Ball on a strike. I mean, you mentioned Shattuck is a player that Marissa Young kind of has in the back pocket for key clutch situations. Started this year as a starter for Duke. But just 4 of her 13 starts have come since the middle of February. Laces that one into left, and Shattuck off the bench reaches base for a second straight time. Case in point.
Yeah, and if she continues to hit the way she is, I wouldn't be surprised if she becomes a mainstay in the lineup. Stayed in the game, behind the plate, and so you have to kind of manage that. Who gives you the best chance in terms of receiving, throwing runners out? We haven't seen enough data from Gabby Shattuck to understand where she ranks against Kyrie Rodriguez on that front, but when it comes to hitting right now, Gabby Shattuck is a weapon for this offense. Yeah, it looks like they'll bring in Aaliyah Terrell to pinch run and then likely bring Kyrie Rodriguez back behind the plate.
The chess piece is on the move. There's Terrell, Greensboro native, who started her college career at Boston College. And now North Carolina gathers everybody in the circle around pitching coach Maddie Hollop. Of course, going forward for Duke, I'm sure you could give Shattuck some action at DP, but now you have the Mathis situation to handle with her ability to come in and pitch.
Yeah, it's one of those tough situations that I'm sure both of these coaching staffs deal with, of like that 10th player you want in the lineup every time, but where are you going to put them? KK Mathis does give them some depth in terms of that DP flex position, being able to come into play and pitch as the DP. But, you know, you look up and down this lineup and you don't see room for more, especially with how they play defensively, which is solid.
Kayla Stafford's 1 out of 3 with a double. Swings at the first pitch, back up the middle, flip to second, onward to first. Is it in time? Yes, it is. Tar Heels turn 2. 15th twin killing of the season for Carolina.
Wow. Reese Outlaw falls to the knee, but gets rid of it quickly. Reagan Jennings with a super quick transition and turn. Fires it over to Leggett. That's a great play and a great bounce back by Lily Parrish, the freshman, to roll a ground ball, as it looks like she will get relieved here in the top of the 7th with 2 outs, with the home run hitter Addie Matthews coming up.
So Parrish's night is done in the circle, and Kendall Frost comes in for the Tar Heels. This game between Duke and North Carolina, but there's a frost warning in Chapel Hill. Kendall Frost, the transfer from ECU, takes over in the circle for the Heels. She's the 4th pitcher of the night for Carolina.
Yeah, Frost, the sophomore, has definitely been one of the handful of pitchers that has taken the bulk of innings. 60 punch outs and 68 1/3, so has got the stuff to create swing and misses, and they will need her to do that here against Addie Matthews.
Matthews, a homer in the 5th, part of a 2-hit game for the Blue Devil freshman left fielder. Last chance to add some insurance here. Currently a 5-run lead in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, and if you're Duke, 5 runs does not feel comfortable at all. And Carolina has proven over and over again they can score runs in a flash.
Matthews, a roller out to short. Outlaw from her knees. And gets Matthews hustling down the line. Thanks to the double play, Tar Heels face the minimum in the top of the 7th. They'll try and plate 5 or more in the last of the frame. Tar Heels. Duke scored 8 times in the first 3 innings. The lead is held up for the visitors on this Friday night, the series opener. But one of the nation's most prolific scoring offenses has its work cut out for itself against Mallory Wheeler in the home half of the 7th. Wheeler's the 3rd pitch of the night for Duke. Cassidy Curd, 3 2/3. Couple innings for KK Mathis, and now Wheeler will face the Tar Heels 5, 6, and 7 batters, beginning with Michelle Tarpey, 1 out of 3 on the game. A Duke win would be their 15th consecutive against North Carolina after the Tar Heels took the first 5 meetings in the history of the series. Winner of this game, regardless of who it is, will run their win streak to 7. Tarpey swings at the first pitch, a roller to Vega. Tough play at first, but gets Tarpey by a step. Aggression does not pay off for Tarpey, and MC Eaton comes to the plate.
Yeah, and that's a huge out if you're Duke. 7th inning, backs against the wall against your rival. They put streaky innings up, crooked numbers before. They get that first out, really relaxes the defense, takes the pressure off.
First pitch swinging by Eaton, and it's her first hit of the game. Rolling into right, Lamar ends up with the ball. MC Eaton aboard with the 1-out single.
MC Eaton said, hey, you can take the pressure off a little bit, but let me apply some here. MC Eaton is a hitter that you're not going to keep off the base path for a long time. Jayla Stafford almost makes an incredible play there, but when you hit the ball hard, good things happen. And the senior does just that. And that's what they need here in this inning, just to get the rally going. Quality at bat after quality at bat, chip away at the lead.
Jada Baker takes over at first for Duke. Baker, graduate student from Florida. Reagan Jennings, the batter for the Tar Heels, in an 0-1 count. There's Jennings, who worked a count full. Hit a seeing-eye single back up the middle in the 3rd to prolong the inning for a Raina Blackwell 3-run homer. Prevented Duke from really running away with this one. Tar Heels trying to avoid dropping to 1-8 against ranked teams in this 2026 season. 1-2. Jennings to the right side, Baker. Able to get the lead runner. Jennings will reach first, but the Tar Heels are down to their final out.
Yeah, Jada Baker comes into the game, one of the leaders on this team, and I think when we asked head coach Marissa Young, if all the coaches got tossed, who are you handing the lineup card to? Who's going to run the show? She said Jada Baker comes in the game, makes a huge play to get her team within 1 out of a Game 1 victory.
First pitch strike on Blackwell. I love that question, by the way.
It's good, right?
Yeah.
It's really good.
Who is that player that's going to run the show if all coaches have to disappear? Tar Heels down to their final strike. Duke on the verge of their 11th straight ACC series opening win going back to last year. 0-2 from Wheeler. Curd started it. Mathis strong through the middle innings. Wheeler trying to slam the door. 0-2 to Blackwell. Should Blackwell reach? Reese Outlaw's on deck. One-two. Blackwell into left and down for a hit. 2 on, 2 out. The Tar Heels keep their hopes alive. Outlaw will come to the plate.
And then if this game doesn't go in Carolina's favor, I think you circle Raina Blackwell and what she's been able to do, the at-bats she's been putting together tonight as a huge bright spot. I mean, the depth that they have now, 1 through 9 in this lineup, is huge.
We said it was Outlaw who was due up for the Tar Heels. North Carolina will call upon a pinch hitter, Lindsey Lumsden. Junior from Loganville, Georgia. Second-year Tar Heel who transferred in from Campbell. Three of Lumsden's 7 hits this year. Gone for extra bases, including a couple of homers. Wheeler's 0-1. Ball on a strike. Now if Lumsden finds her way aboard, you're back to the top of the order, and Sanaa Thompson awaits on deck. And then things get really interesting. Back up the middle, roller, picked up Wheeler, on to first, and round 1 on Tobacco Road goes to Duke. Blue Devils score 8 in the first 3 innings, and the margin holds up. Duke wins it 11-6 to take the series opener.
Gosh, and it was a shootout exactly how we had pictured it to be, Matt, when looking at both of these teams. It started with the first pitch home run by Deanna Jennings, and then it was a back and forth between these two. And Blackwell, Leggett, Thompson able to hit long balls for the Carolina Tar Heels, but it was Deanna Jennings and Mina Vega, Tyrena Jones and Addie Matthews, who their long balls were able to outlast the Tar Heels in Game 1.
Home run derby in Chapel Hill for Duke, and the Blue Devils come 8 miles down the road and earn the series opening victory. 11-6 your final score in front of a great crowd in Chapel Hill. Duke wins the opener. They'll go for the series tomorrow at 1 o'clock. For our producer, Nolan Sullivan, director Chloe Walrat, my broadcast partner, Rainn Wilson, I'm Matt Krause saying thank you so much for watching, and farewell from Chapel Hill, where Duke wins it.